The moment the trucks stop moving, the clock starts ticking. Not metaphorically, not dramatically, literally. Modern cities carry only a thin film of stored survival. 3 days of food in grocery distribution centers, less than a week of medical consumables in regional warehouses, and in many urban zones, less than 48 hours of potable water treatment chemicals. When the supply chain fractures, the illusion of abundance evaporates with mathematical precision. What most people call inconvenience is, under stress, a cascade failure. The empty shelf is not the problem, it is the signal. And if you wait to respond to that signal, you are already late. The danger in a supply chain failure is not chaos, it is delay. Distribution systems operate on just-in-time logistics engineered for cost efficiency, not resilience. Warehouses minimize surplus inventory because holding stock is expensive. Freight routes are optimized for speed, not redundancy. Fuel depots assume continuous resupply. When a disruption occurs, whether caused by a natural disaster, grid failure, cyber disruption, fuel shortage, port shutdown, or infrastructure breakdown, the system does not degrade slowly, it destabilizes in layers. First, perishables vanish, then shelf-stable goods, then fuel, then spare parts, finally medical and sanitation supplies. Each layer removed reduces recovery probability. A bug-out bag prepared before this sequence begins is not paranoia, it is temporal leverage. The misunderstanding most people carry is that a bug-out bag is a wilderness camping kit designed for dramatic escape into forests or mountains. That misconception has been reinforced by entertainment and gear marketing. In reality, emergency management agencies worldwide design evacuation planning around 72-hour self-sufficiency. That window exists because most disasters resolve operational bottlenecks within that time frame. But when the disruption is systemic, when distribution infrastructure itself fails, the 72-hour assumption collapses. A properly configured bag is not about camping comfort, it is about bridging logistical vacuum. Hidden within this reality is a principle rarely discussed outside emergency logistics. Survivability depends on portability density. Every ounce in your bag must convert directly into time, hydration, mobility, communication, or physiological stability. Weight is metabolic cost. Excess weight reduces travel speed. Reduced speed increases exposure. Increased exposure raises caloric demand. Higher caloric demand accelerates depletion. The physics are non-negotiable. Human locomotion under load follows measurable energy expenditure curves. A 15-kilogram load can increase energy burn by 50% compared to unloaded walking. That translates into additional water requirements and faster fatigue. Therefore, the first secret of a resilient bug-out bag before supply chain failure is ruthless efficiency. Evidence from disaster zones reinforces this. After Hurricane Katrina, many evacuees carried heavy, non-essential items that slowed movement through flooded terrain. In wildfire evacuations in California, those who prioritized documents, water, masks, and medications fared better than those who attempted to transport large quantities of food or sentimental possessions. During the Texas power grid failure of 2021, individuals who possessed portable water storage and battery systems sustained autonomy far longer than those reliant on centralized utilities. Data from the Federal Emergency Management Agency indicated that households with pre-packed evacuation kits reduced emergency response strain and improved survival metrics in early disaster phases. These are not anecdotes, they are operational observations. The survival implication is clear. Your bag must assume that you cannot rely on resupply for at least 72 hours and potentially far longer if distribution networks remain compromised. That means water procurement capability outranks stored food in priority. Dehydration impairs cognitive performance within hours. At just 2% body weight loss in fluids, mental acuity declines measurably. Decision-making deteriorates. Navigation errors increase. Panic probability rises. Most people pack high-calorie snack bars and forget water purification redundancy. That error is lethal in slow-moving crises where municipal water systems lose pressure or contamination events occur. Escalation follows naturally. When supply chains fracture, sanitation systems degrade next. Waste removal delays create bacterial proliferation. Wastewater treatment plants depend on chemical deliveries and continuous power. Without chlorine or similar disinfectants, pathogens multiply rapidly. This transforms a logistical crisis into a public health emergency. Therefore, your bag must include not just water purification tools, but barrier methods, respiratory protection, gloves, and antiseptic agents. During the COVID-19 pandemic, global supply shortages demonstrated how rapidly personal protective equipment vanished from shelves. Hospitals rationed masks, civilians improvised. Those with pre-positioned respiratory protection avoided exposure risks while others competed for limited stock. The lesson is not political, it is procedural. Scarcity compounds vulnerability. Transitioning deeper, communication resilience becomes the next overlooked domain. People assume cellular networks will function during evacuation, yet cell towers rely on grid power with limited battery backup, often between 4 and 8 hours. Extended outages silence towers. Network congestion alone can render devices unusable. A bug-out bag that lacks independent communication capability assumes infrastructure stability. That assumption contradicts every major blackout analysis in modern history. During the Northeast blackout of 2003, millions lost power across multiple states and parts of Canada. Communication bottlenecks formed instantly. Those equipped with battery-powered radios accessed official updates, while others relied on rumor. Information scarcity breeds hazardous decisions. Another misunderstanding is overemphasis on weaponry at the expense of medical readiness. In supply chain failure scenarios, injury probability rises due to debris, damaged infrastructure, traffic collisions, and manual labor strain. Yet trauma supplies are often minimal in civilian kits. The hidden science here is hemorrhage control. Severe bleeding can cause irreversible shock within minutes. Commercial tourniquets, hemostatic dressings, and compression bandages are lightweight relative to their life-saving potential. Studies from military and civilian trauma medicine confirm rapid hemorrhage control dramatically improves survival outcomes. A supply chain disruption will not pause for pharmacy restocking. If antibiotics or sterile supplies become scarce, preventing infection initially becomes critical. Clean wound management is not optional. Evidence from earthquake responses in Japan and Chile demonstrated that rapid self-aid and buddy aid reduce mortality before professional responders can access affected zones. Urban search and rescue timelines reveal that most rescues occur within the first 24 hours, often performed by civilians. Therefore, your bag must assume you are the first responder for yourself or someone near you. This reframes the concept entirely. The bag is not an escape fantasy. It is a compact life support system engineered for autonomy. Survival implications intensify when considering fuel shortages. Modern evacuation depends on vehicles, yet fuel distribution relies on tanker logistics and functioning payment systems. In Hurricane Sandy, fuel scarcity immobilized thousands of drivers. Gas stations without power couldn't pump fuel. Those with portable fuel containers and siphoning knowledge maintained mobility longer. But fuel storage carries safety risks if mishandled. The science of volatile organic compounds and fire hazard management requires proper containment and ventilation.
Therefore, the bag should complement vehicle evacuation, not depend entirely on it. Mobility must be hybrid, vehicle when available, foot when necessary. Escalation continues with psychological resilience. Research in disaster psychology indicates that cognitive overload and decision fatigue degrade performance faster than physical exhaustion. A pre-configured bag reduces cognitive burden. When stress hormones elevate, cortisol and adrenaline spiking, fine motor skills diminish and memory recall narrows. By pre-selecting equipment in advance, you remove decision points during crisis onset. This is not convenience, it is neurobiological optimization. Emergency planners design checklists precisely because human recall under stress is unreliable. Transitioning forward, consider supply chain fragility in pharmaceuticals. Many medications are manufactured internationally and distributed through multi-stage logistics. A disruption at ports, factories, or transport corridors cascades into hospital shortages within days. Individuals dependent on daily medications must prioritize redundancy, storing limited reserves under proper conditions, temperature stability, moisture